Now, by the close of business today, Tshwane too will have a new mayor. The city is holding its inaugural meeting. Today is the deadline for councils to form coalition governments. There was no outright winner in Tshwane after the local government election earlier this month. The ANC is fielding Frans Boshielo for mayor, while the DA is fielding Randall Williams, who covers the mayoral chain. ENCA's Govan Whittles is in the capital and joins us now. Govan, good afternoon. We understand that currently they're inducting the councillors. What else is taking place?
Yeah, that's right. They're still busy with the induction of councillors here. It's a lengthy process which is expected to continue at least for the next half an hour to an hour, and thereafter they'll begin with the election of a speaker. But here in the city of Tshwane, we spoke to the DA's Gauteng leader a little bit earlier, Salim Samanga, saying that they don't expect too many surprises. They do expect to take control of this municipality once again, the mayoral position as well as the speaker position and the chief whip position. But that's of course thanks to the help of ActionSA and the economic freedom fighters. And they did say that they didn't expect what happened in Kuruleni and the city of Johannesburg. And here at the Tshwane Council chambers is the leader of ActionSA, Mr. Herman Mashaba. He's the one that was behind the ActionSA decision to essentially vote for the DA candidates, even though there was no formal agreement on the table. And Mr. Mashaba, is that what will be happening here again today?
Well, absolutely. We are here to conclude and continue with the mission we started yesterday, because we had a sense that DA wanted to give these municipalities to the ANC, and fortunately enough, the EFF and us agreed that we are not going to let that happen. People of this country have been abused by the ANC for the last 27 years, and for us to allow the DA to give these municipalities back to the ANC, it's not going to happen. So
you've given the DA your votes now without a formal agreement on the table. Do you expect them to come back to you and start proper negotiations to get that agreement in place?
Well, I think that's a question that must be asked to the DA. What we as ActionSA, our interest was to ensure that we don't give the ANC any chance of ever being in government. And obviously, any sensible person that is actually interested in the future of this country, the DA, if ever that is the case, then they're most welcome to come and talk to us. We are reasonable South Africans. We care about the future of our country.
So eventually, the DA would have to consider ActionSA and the EFF when it comes to appropriated budgets, adjusted budgets, or the main budget speech, because your votes are important. But the DA could also appoint a minority government with all the MMC's positions being filled by DA members, essentially shutting ActionSA and the EFF out of power. How would you handle such a scenario?
Well, that would really be very interesting for the DA, because I don't know how they will run a government, a minority government. I mean, I'm sure DA understand how municipal systems work. So if it is about collapsing this government, wanting to continue with the arrogance, that decision is not going to be with us as ActionSA and EFF. I can't speak for the EFF. I can speak for ActionSA. If they take that approach, it is up to them. But one thing for sure for us as ActionSA, if we're not consulted, then they don't expect anything. One thing I want the DA to understand, our vote is not a gift to them. That vote that we are going to give them today, we gave them yesterday, is not a gift.
So is it something you're using to have leverage over them?
It is our right to protect this country and not really be abused by anyone. And I want the DA to really understand that if they want to talk to us as ActionSA, please call us with the EFF, because it's not only ActionSA that voted for you, and because I don't trust them, and I think I'm happy to tell the world in South Africa that personally I don't really trust the DA to really be able to negotiate with them on my own. So if they want to talk to us, call us with the EFF, and our meetings are going to be recorded, because I've got 2 weeks of negotiating in bad faith. I'm not prepared to take any more chances with them.
But you are prepared to continue talking to them if the EFF is there and the meeting is recorded, signaling that you're not prepared to give up the prospect of working with the Democratic Alliance. How long will you continue this before you decide on another option?
Well, I think the DA, if ever they were serious about obviously talking to us, by now they would have already made some overtures. But so far, my phone, I've not heard anything from them. I don't know what they've got up their sleeve. But one thing for sure, I can tell them, if ever they thought they were going to give these municipalities to the ANC, it is not going to happen. We're going to make sure that we protect these municipalities being taken over by the ANC. But also, they are in a very, very fortunate position. They've got more council support than any mayor has ever received. And if they are serious about negotiating in good faith and humbling themselves, because there's something about the DA that is actually quite troubling. They have a sense of some kind of superiority, values or something. There's something with them that they feel superior to everybody else. That's one thing that is, of course, when they want to come and talk to us, please humble yourselves. We will humble ourselves to make sure that we can really find and keep working relationship for the people of these three municipalities.
All right, thank you so much. That's Herman Mashaba. He's the leader of ActionSA. He's on his way to make sure the DA gets a hat-trick in the Gauteng metros and takes control of Tshwane as well by getting ActionSA support. And Herman Mashaba still waiting for the call from either Helen Ziller or John Steenhuisen to figure out how they will manage this new working arrangement, which is not necessarily a coalition agreement.
We'll just be following up to see if, in fact, he does get that call. Thank you very much. That's our reporter Govan Whittles out in Tshwane there, where proceedings are underway.